Good morning, June 28th. Man, I feel like I've been living in California the last few days. Humidities went down and we haven't had rain for about 2 weeks. We've had rain around us, but at my house, man, I just have not had any rain. So, this week we're talking about how information can affect us, how our mind can, when it takes in information, can cultivate new ideas, new opportunities. I think it's a huge key for leverage, especially leveraging certain areas within ourselves. If we can expand what we see in certain areas, it can really create momentum. So I want to give you guys a few powerful stories this week. That way you guys can kind of see how that information and how stories can affect people. Maybe one of these stories will affect you. So I'm going to start off with one of my favorite authors, Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book, or actually, I don't know that he wrote it, but one of the people I think it was Sharon Lecter, maybe wrote the book, but it was in conjunction with some of Napoleon Hill's work, I believe. But there was a guy that was not very wealthy at all, but loved studying gold and how it worked and everything of that nature. Sorry about that. I keep getting this message popping up. But anyways, he studied gold pretty much all of his life, was just an expert on gold, how it runs through the earth, all of that stuff. And what happened was back during the gold rush out west, all these wealthy people were coming in, buying land and mining the gold out, and then they would leave. Well, he happened to live close to an area where some wealthy person had come in, bought a bunch of land, mined the gold. They thought they'd mined all the gold out of that land, end up selling the land for pennies on the dollar, sold all the equipment at like an auction for pennies on the dollar. So this guy who had studied gold all of his life didn't have the money, the investment to actually buy land and mine gold himself, was presented this opportunity to buy this land very, very cheap where he could afford it. All the equipment very, very cheap because they didn't want to transport the equipment. It was going to be too expensive. So they just sold everything really, really cheap. And what happened is this guy understood something, that the wealthy people who had bought the land and mined the gold, since they weren't gold experts, he knew something that they didn't know. And what ended up happening is those people sold that land, sold that equipment for pennies on the dollar, and they were 3 feet from the biggest gold discovery in the U.S. And it just goes to show you, when you consume great information, you gain an edge. You may not have the resources, you may not have the circumstances that someone else has, but it ends up giving you an edge. And I believe it ends up leading you to opportunities that other people won't get because they're not as in tune and consuming and learning and leveraging and building confidence. So I thought that was a good story. Hopefully that that has some type of impact and kind of opens your eyes that if you do study, if you do consume information on a particular subject, and whatever you're passionate about, if you become really knowledgeable about it, continue to learn about it over and over again, you're going to develop an edge over other people. The stuff that I do with racers, I don't have no special talent than anybody else, other than I study more, I analyze more, I look at things. That's the reason I can see things that other people can't see, is just because I put the time in to study, analyze, and see things that other people don't see. So, man, I hope that helps you guys this morning. I'm getting ready to get out here and get after it. Another beautiful day here. I don't believe there's a cloud in the sky, but getting excited about 4th of July, man. I'm pumped on this weekend, ready to see some fireworks. You guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.